Lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides and have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Agent Mark Manning about Shelter's auto insurance discounts.
At St. Michael's Place on a beautiful day, and it's always a great day to come out and get to visit with some of the folks. And sometimes we have new folks, and we happen to have one here today, the new administrator of St. Michael's Place, Rhonda Defane. It's a tongue twister for me, but it is Defane, and got some Jackson County roots. And tell us a little bit, Rhonda, about you.
Well, originated from Beattyville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And went to school at Newport for a little while after Beattyville consolidated. After Newport, transferred to Wiener and graduated from there.
Okay.
Grew up, got married, had kids, and ended up in Pocahontas, Arkansas. So I now live there. My husband and I have 3 children. We actually have 7 together.
Wow.
But yes,
Wow.
yes. But starting here, with the nursing, I started nursing school and graduated in 08 from LPN at Black River Technical College in Pocahontas. My RN in 09. Okay. And I've, did not want to do long-term care at all at first. Was not going to do it. And
this is not it. This is not what I'm going to do. And here we are.
Yes, my very first.
Happen? Yeah.
Well, my very first day of clinicals, they were like, "You're going to a nursing home," and I was like, "Okay, I can do this." Fell in love from day one, and it's all I've done. I mean, I've done some side work, working in the ER, things like that, but it's my love. It's my complete heart here in the long-term care world. So,
what is it about when you went in that nursing home that day? What is it that just struck you as, man, this is what I want to do?
Well, I consider it fate because my little resident that I had that day was oriented and able to talk to me, and that was a godsend because she told me things that she just melted my heart. Really? Told me about the days of the old days and where she worked and how she did it, and I was just mesmerized at the stories. And then I realized, I definitely had found my pathway right there, and then I knew it immediately.
Well, there's no doubt when you're dealing with people in long-term care, and that is what it is. It's long-term and can be a lot of time. And this place of business has been here for many, many years. It's been a very, very successful business. And any business has trials and tribulations, so on and so forth. And but you're here, and tell me some of the challenges that we face, just not just here, but what are the challenges that we face in long-term care?
Well, one of the biggest issues I think is people knowing what to expect when they come into a long-term care facility. Okay. They're scared, first of all, not really knowing the unknown. Financials, how are we going to afford? Why are we putting guilt?
Sure.
Why are we putting mom or daddy in here?
Yeah.
Things like that. So our biggest, another challenge too is to earn their respect and their trust here in long-term care, because we are taking care of their mom and daddy or their uncle or aunt or their grandparents. It's our job now to give them the love that family has been giving them, and letting that family let go because of the caregiver, there's role strain that they get, and they're trying to work, and they're, trying to do as much as they can for that family member. And once they get them here, they're lost. The families are lost.
Yes, absolutely.
So just that trust, and letting them know, listen, we've got this. Just bear with us, and we can do this together as a team.
I think families sometimes, especially those families that might not live close to their parents or their grandparents or whomever the case may be, when they get there during the holidays and they haven't been there for a while, they may notice a change in mom and dad, and everybody says, I don't want to go to a nursing home. But when people get to St. Michael's Place, not only are people that have brought them, but the residents are always happy and doing things. And I've never heard anybody say, I don't like it out there. I've never heard anybody say that.
Yes.
But even, you talk to the residents that can communicate real well with you and say, oh yeah, we love it out here. And you talk with their children, and oh yeah, mom loves it out there, dad loves it out there. I think that's one of the things that's important for you to come in, to know that you come into a good place.
Right. Not just that, but this is their home now.
Right.
So we have to continue on. If we take them to eat and out in the community, or we do activities and things like that to keep them as mindful and happy as they can too. So if they like dominoes, we play dominoes.
Right.
If they want that cup of coffee at 5:30 in the morning, by golly, I want that cup of coffee sitting there. So I think that just making this as home atmospheric-like as possible is our biggest goal.
Well, there's no doubt. I think y'all will get there, don't you?
Thank you. I hope so.
Rhonda Defane.
Yes.
I'm doing good on those names. I always struggle with those names that I've never heard before. I've never heard that one.
Pretty little Italian boy gave it to me.
And Pocahontas, Arkansas. And we'll just quickly, how long have you been in Pocahontas?
Moved there in 1999.
Oh, you've been there then.
And
yeah.
yes, my kids all started kindergarten there and went on and graduated high school. The three have graduated. They're all in college now, so I'm kind of empty nesting.
I understand.
So I get to spend more time here at St.
That's
Michael's.
right. Well,
So-
there's no doubt it's a love for you. And you
Yes.
said that earlier. There's no doubt it's a love. And welcome to Newport, Arkansas.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to St. Michael's
I
Place.
love me some Jackson County.
I bet you do. Rhonda, we appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much.
We're at St. Michael's Place, and let's continue on with more of our show. Dr. Gavin McDowell at Customized Vision Care, and I always love the chart. The chart you come in.
You are entertained easily.
And you go, which one of those, tell the smallest line you can read, and I always look at the E, and I can get the E, and then we adjust, and we go down to here. But one of the most amazing tools is if you can read this chart. Listen, we are scientific, professional, and everything else here at Customized Vision Care. Dr. Gavin McDowell joins us, as he does each and every month here on our broadcast. I don't know how I want to show that, but I don't know.
Well, I thought you were going to do the whole. Now, if you see this chart properly, it's okay, but there's a specific condition that if you see nothing but E's, then that's a major problem.
I did look at that. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know what it was. I really thought, you know what I really thought?
You know what that is?
No, sir.
That's what's called tumbling E's. If you, let's imagine I have a 4-year-old little kid, and I have them, hey, can you read the letters? No, because they don't know their letters maybe.
Right.
So I'll say this, which way are the fingers pointing? They're like this, or like that, or that. So they can give me directions.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I really thought when it said made in China down here at the bottom that that was some Chinese writing. But that is cool idea. Did you come up with that?
Of course I did, and I get royalty every time we talk about it. So let's talk about it some more.
I like it.
Whatever.
I like
wish.
it.
No.
We are professional here.
We're
We
something.
We do take care of people's eyes.
Yes.
And before we got on, we were talking about how to take care of people's eyes.
Yes.
That's what we do.
That's all we do.
Yeah. How do we do that?
Well, several scientific and professional ways, apparently.
The eye in itself, and we talked last time, and I've always been enamored about the eye and how it works, and not so much about how the eye works, but when the eye doesn't work, how we fix that. How we fix that. I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the eye and fixing the eye. I love the example of the truck that you talked about.
Oh, yeah.
And contacts.
We were talking before we got on. I have patients every day trying to save a buck or two by overwearing the contacts, and that's the most prolific abuse in our society, in my opinion.
Right.
There's, it's one of those things where, I got these contacts, and I just don't want to buy another box. I'm gonna wear this one until it starts bothering me. That's when I'll take it out. And that's,
right.
I ask patients, hey, how long are you wearing your lenses before you throw them away? And they'll tell me, when they start bothering me.
Right.
And so the next question I always ask them, what kind of car do you drive? And it could be a
Whatever.
92 Ford Probe.
Sure.
Remember those?
I do.
Everybody wanted one of those when they came out.
That's right.
But anyway, they'll tell me a vehicle, and so I'll ask them, so when's the last time you got the oil changed in that thing? Oh, I change it every 3 months, every 3,000 miles. Well, why don't you just change it when, wait to change it till it starts knocking and burning oil? Because that's what you're doing with your contacts. And the great thing about it is, if you blow up the engine in that vehicle, we can drop a brand new engine in that sucker It's probably going to run A-OK for another, well, however long
Ready
you
to
burn
go.
that sucker
Yeah,
up.
there you go. Ready to go.
Now, if you burn your cornea up, we can fix that. It's called removing yours and putting a dead guy's cornea on your eye.
Yes, sir.
And I promise you, you will not see very well. You will never wear contacts again, and it's going to hurt. So, yeah.
Big abuse with that. Big abuse. To
I
save a
can't
few
believe-
bucks.
Just to save a buck or two. And like I was telling David here before we started up, contacts, you're talking about a couple $100s a year probably.
Right. Yeah.
That's less than $1 a day.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well,
Why are you rolling the dice on your eyes going blown up, just to save, I'm going to not spend $200 until May of this year instead of January.
Yeah, you're going to keep your contacts going. Yeah. And you're talking about if you're supposed to wear them for a week and dispose of them. Don't go 2 weeks.
Yeah,
No.
every contact has a lifespan, and I want you to understand that lifespan is not, this lens is supposed to be worn a month, so if I don't sleep in them, I gain 8 extra hours of wear, and I just add that up. So it's actually a 3-month lens. No, it's not. It's 3. When you peel that blister back open, it's whatever the lifespan is, month, 2 weeks. I can't tell you how many times I have patients who come in who are in a 2-week lens, and I'll say this right now if you're watching this, if you wear AccuView lenses, it's a 2-week lens. I don't care what you've been told. AccuView lenses are always 2-week lenses, but I ask them, hey, how long are you wearing your lens? Oh, a month. That's what the last doctor said I could do.
Right. 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. You won't hear that from me. No.
Well, I think it's like any doctor's orders. It's always good to kind of follow the directions.
Yeah.
If you follow the direction, there's a reason why you went to college for so many years.
Forever, it felt
for all
like.
your training. So you could tell people like me and you that here's what you need to do, and you don't do it. I mean,
it's on you.
It's on you then.
As
Yeah, it's
the
on
old
you.
adage goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Can't
or
make him
tap
drink.
dance or
Yeah.
whatever.
Tell me about.
Can't make him change his contacts.
No, you can't. Well, I've seen horses do that before. I can't imagine how they get that.
It's that hoof.
Front, it comes all the way up.
It's cloven.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that. Yeah. But tell us again, and we talk about it. Contact lens. I come in, I've never had contacts before, and I say, I'd like to try some contact lens. What do you do for me? Well, in that case, what do you do for me? I want contacts right today, or I want to try
You want
them.
contacts today.
I want to
If you
try
got them
them.
in your power, I'll say this. Most of the suppliers that we have a set back here of trials that will get often close, if not exactly what I'm going to prescribe for you.
Okay.
So what we'll do, we'll slap contact lenses. We'll have somebody first teach you how to put them in,
Gotcha.
how to take them out, how to care for them, all that stuff. We'll put a pair in, see how they fit, and see how you see. There's a little bit of trial and error with that, but the great thing is, if you don't like them, we'll change them as often as it takes to get you happy.
Right.
Until we find the one pair that fits you. And when that's done, that's when you order contacts. You don't have to pay a lick.
If that doesn't happen, yeah.
If it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It just, right, well,
You just don't qualify.
we're done.
You tried. Yeah, and obviously, I mean, we're not going to try you in 77 pairs of contacts, but I mean,
I tell patients all the time, though, you will give up before I will.
absolutely.
We had one option. It was a hard contact lens.
Oh yeah, I remember the old days.
I've had a hard contact lens in my eye twice. There will not be a third time. That's how uncomfortable they are.
Is that right?
It's kind of like Stockholm syndrome. You're forced to wear them long enough. You just kind of accept it and you love them all of a
Way
sudden.
it is.
Yeah, it's just
Be
where we
without your
are.
glasses.
Yeah.
Boy, it's hurt like
But now
hell.
we got all kinds of options, different companies, different, for lack of a better way of saying, lenses that get wetter than others,
Sure.
depending
Yeah.
upon how your eye responds to it. And they're shaped differently, so they fit the eye differently in different ways. So.
move differently or don't move differently.
Yeah,
or,
and there's,
you know,
I mean,
when you
there's
blink.
there's hundreds of combinations to find what works for you.
I know years ago I used to remember when people first get in contacts, because I'm older than you, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, just 6 years, 8 years, 15, 20, whatever the case may be. But
That's why we got the calculator.
That's it. How old are you? All right, how old am I? When people first got the glass contact lenses and to put those in there, and I'd go, how in the world and why in the world would you put glass in your eye? And they said, well, it makes me see better. But and obviously that technology was there then, but it was kind of a tougher deal. A lot easier today than it's ever been before.
A whole lot easier. Yeah, a whole lot easier.
Yeah, and you put the ones that are flimsy. My biggest problem is that I just get them in there and I just and then it's okay. But just
What was that again? I didn't.
they look kind of just kind of do that, and it's if you've never done it before,
It's scary.
it is a little scary. But once you do it, it's okay.
Oh yeah, it's like riding a bike.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So y'all do contacts here, and if they don't work, or
If they don't work, we just walk away. Yeah.
you don't owe anything.
Yeah. I tell everybody the same thing when that happens. Like, hey, if God wanted you to wear contacts, He wouldn't have made glasses.
That's right. Folks, if you want contact lenses, I don't know what kind of better deal you could get. Just, it's a guaranteed contact lens success program, or you don't know if any.
And you know what the great thing about contacts is that here recently there's been a big advent of what's called unilateral pricing. And so basically what it is most companies on most of their lines have a set amount that we are required to charge for a pair of contact lenses.
Okay.
Now you're going to get that same price online.
Okay.
You're going to get that same price at Walmart. You know what? You're going to get the same price through me.
Right.
Because it's just the way it is. Across the board,
Okay.
everybody's about the same.
Right.
So we order them for you. We ensure that they're right when they come through. We ensure that they're right for your prescription. You call us up, we get them ordered. We get them here usually in a day, a couple days at most. We don't charge you shipping.
Right.
You tear a contact lens, I'm going to pull one of the trials and replace it for you. I'm going to do that.
Right.
And you know what? On top of that, when's the last time you saw 1-800-CONTACT supporting a Little League ball team or doing something in the community?
Right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
understand.
That's that, and
I understand.
we're part of the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And giving back.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving
Yeah.
back. When people walk in the doors, we need a donation for this or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
We're sponsoring the Little League baseball team. That's what we want to do. And when you buy stuff online, you think you might be helping you, but
you are.
but you're not helping anybody else.
You're not helping anybody else. And I'm not going to sit here and have a pity party about
Right.
how woe is me. Please get it. You're killing us. But it's one of those things where I have staff and I really work on having polite, courteous, knowledgeable staff.
Right.
They have to be paid a livable wage.
Absolutely.
So when you're not just supporting me, you're supporting the people of the community, and as it's trickle down economics. It's election time.
There we go.
Let's go
There
back.
we go.
Just correlate everything to Ronald Reagan, and everything will be
That's
fantastic.
right. Everything's gonna be good. Don't even get me going about election time because I don't talk about it. I really don't talk about it. I don't talk.
despise politics.
I do too, because I saw years ago when people did how it made people, and it made them change, and it made them get mad, and it made them get mean.
Oh.
And I thought, all this. There's Tommy Allen. That's a good friend of mine, Dillinger Funeral Home. But it just
Now he's going to pay for part of this plug now. All right.
Absolutely. I put him on right after this and say, all right, Tommy, we just talked about you, so here you go. But going back to the eye vision.
We're getting way off. We're getting way off topic here. Yeah.
Glasses, a little different contacts.
Yeah.
Which one gets you the best?
Glasses are almost always going to be better.
That's what I thought.
And the reason that is because it's a static, non-movable surface, and it's refracting light no matter where you're kind of looking through the lens.
Okay.
With a contact lens, it floats on the eye, and it'll shift, it'll rotate, it'll affect how your vision is. There'll be times where you'll see a lot of people doing that, just trying to get it, in line. But when it comes to contact lenses, they don't make contact lenses in every single power.
Right.
There's no, let's put it this way. You can get a custom contact lens, but it's going to be a lens you take out every night, you have to clean, take care of, you keep it for an entire year.
Right.
It's not user-friendly, so to speak.
Right, absolutely.
And even then, your vision might not be perfect. But yeah, your vision's almost always going to be clearer, more sharp, and more crisp with
the
glasses.
glasses.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always been. But I like contacts, but
the advantages of them. If you're like kids playing sports, or if you just want let's put it this way, people who are really nearsighted.
Right.
When they have glasses on, when they look around their frame, everything's blurry out here.
Right. Yeah.
With contacts on, they got all that peripheral vision is clear as well. There's distinct advantages to both.
I bet there are. Yeah. And all those advantages are exclusively at Customized Vision
no one else
Care.
in the world can ever
can do
get
it.
glasses, contacts, anything like that.
Well, you can go get them, but you can't get them like you can get them here.
That's right.
This is the best. Dr. Gavin McDowell is the best. My friend, As always, it's such a pleasure to get to see you and come in and talk about eye vision.
Eye vision. Eye vision. I like the air quotes. Hey! Eye
vision care. He's Dr. McDowell. I'm not. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Stay tuned for the Tommy.
Tommy Allen's coming up next. Maybe. I don't know if he's coming up. Dillinger Funeral Home, maybe.
Maybe.
If he's
He
not,
better be.
We're sorry. Welcome to the Dillinger Funeral Home Report. We get the great pleasure of getting to visit with my good friend, Marty Gates. Good to see you again, Marty.
Good to see you, David, always.
I like to visit with you, and this is something that I like to talk about because being an old car salesman like I was, and being an old car salesman like you were, I always like to talk a little car business.
Well,
but remind the folks about your career as a young man. And well, first of all, tell me about you, the family, so on and so forth. Where you born, all that. Tell us a little bit about Marty.
Well, I was born right here in Newport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lived all my life in Tuckerman, raised up in Tuckerman, graduated Tuckerman High School.
Right.
Started American Lantern, went to work for American Lantern right after I got out of high school. Worked there for about 15 years. Went to work for Walmart, worked Walmart for a little while.
I remember that now, yeah.
And went to work for Newport Independent.
Right.
After Walmart, I was at Newport Independent selling advertising.
They sure were.
Yes, sir, sure did. And then I went to work for Taylor Ford.
Right.
Selling cars for about a month. that wasn't what I really wanted to do.
Right.
So,
You'd have been good at it.
Well,
and you and I talked about it before we got on it. You would have been good at it.
Well, I appreciate that. But been here for 20 years here at Dillinger's.
How did this opportunity come along? How did you get from, I mean, you're selling cars out there and you're really not in, it's just the part of the business that you didn't like. Mm-hmm. Were you looking to get out? Were you looking to come into this type of business? How'd that work out for you?
No,
how'd you get here?
I was not looking for another job. Tommy Allen, our manager here,
right.
He come down, was looking for a new vehicle. And he didn't buy at the time. He got back here at the funeral home and he called me and asked me if I'd be interested and talk to him about coming to work here. And I said, yeah, I'll come talk to you. So I did, got hired on, and here I am.
20 years later.
Mm-hmm. Started out washing cars and mowing the lawn. And he told me a year after, he said, I think you'd be a good funeral director. And won't you get your license? And here I am.
Well, talk a little bit about that. What does it take? What do you have to do to get a funeral director's license? What all does that entail?
Well, you just have to try a 2-year apprenticeship.
Okay.
And that's what I did. You have to make so many arrangements.
Okay.
Sit in on so many funeral arrangements. Set up flowers, make death calls, just different things. Work the funerals, you know. And that takes about 2 years. Then you take a test.
Okay.
And I was blessed to pass my test first time. Got my license and yeah.
I think most jobs ought to be that way. When you work, I think sometimes, you know, those folks who, and I'm not being critical of anybody who has a college education, you go to college and you learn a lot about stuff, but it doesn't teach you what you need to know for the job that you do when you get out, even though it's in the quote the same field. Mm-hmm. On the job training.
On the job training is the best you can get.
Hey, you can't get any better than that.
No, you can't.
You learn about in college what it's probably going to be like when you work in a quote a funeral home or a car dealership or a school, but then when you get there, it's not like that.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
like
true.
that. So 20 years later, here we are doing television
Here we are
interviews.
doing television interviews. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about, you had mentioned about the list of things that are important that you have to know. When you sit down and make funeral arrangements, lots of questions, lots of questions.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of those things that you have to.
Well, we try to get to know our families.
Yeah.
You know, we like to personalize our funeral services. You want to get information that goes on death certificate because you have to have a death certificate.
Okay.
So we get all the information for that. And then we just ask questions about survivors, you know, who you have surviving, who preceded you in death. Just questions like that. Where you attended church if you did, you know. How many years? What's the profession, you know, that they did. And we just kind of like to personalize celebration of life.
Absolutely.
Celebration of life, that's what we are, a celebration of life funeral home. And that's what we like to do is celebrate that part. Each individual is unique And
Yes, they are.
yeah,
Everybody's unique.
everybody is unique.
Yeah.
And we just want to get to know our families and do the best that we can for them. Make it as easy as we can for them.
And y'all do a great job of doing that.
Well, thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Before we get off, I got to ask you this. When you took the job 20 years ago, could you have looked down the future 20 years later and say, I'd still be doing this? I mean, did you imagine everything I've ever done in life that I kept doing, I never could imagine that I've done that long. How did you feel about that? You just...
No, sir. When I started here, I didn't think I'd make it no 20 years. I thought I'd be doing something different. But I love my job. The people that we work with, good group of people. We get along real good, and it's just fulfilling.
It is fulfilling.
Yeah,
And
it is. And you meet a lot of families and make a lot of friends.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
And some that you wouldn't normally meet, but you do because of the circumstances of the services that you offer.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Gates, it's always my pleasure to get to visit with you and talk about, I've always thought the world of you.
Yeah.
I've thought the world of you. And I've always said that if whatever Marty Gates does, he'll be a success at.
Well,
And I believe that from the bottom of my heart.
Well, I appreciate
He's-
the kind words.
He's Marty Gates from Dillinger Funeral Home, and let's continue on with more of our show. Special guest on our program this month, and it's not each and every month that we get to do a public service and talk about things that are very, very important in Newport and Jackson County. I want to introduce to you Margaret Price down here on my far right, and this is Judy Phelps. Most of you may know here in Newport, but ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we want to get started because we're looking for volunteers, and we really, really need some help. We need people to step on board and get with us. We're going to talk a little bit about CASA, C-A-S-A, and I know a lot of people have heard of CASA, but then you go, I've heard of it, but I might not know exactly what it is. So first of all, Margaret, tell us what you do for CASA and tell us a little bit about the program.
Well, I am the volunteer coordinator for Jackson County, and what CASA stands for is Court-Appointed Special Advocates. And we're kind of an extra set of eyes and ears for the judge in DHS court. We work with the foster children who are in the court system. Some of our duties are to visit those children at least once a month wherever they're placed. And they're usually not able to place them in Jackson County because we don't have nearly enough foster homes here. So we may go anywhere in the state to visit those children. And we make reports back to the judge about how those kids are doing, what are their wishes about their case, and what we think needs to happen. We work with, of course, with DHS. We work with the children's attorney, the attorney ad litem, and we just keep an eye on those kids. The judge is very happy to appoint us to cases. Right now, we don't have enough volunteers to cover nearly all of those cases. We have around 77 at the last count that we had. Children that are in the foster care system here in Jackson County. We're able to cover about 20-something children instead of the whole 77, unfortunately.
Well, there's no doubt there's a tremendous opportunity for those people, those adults, Newport, Jackson County, around the surrounding areas, to not only do something for children, but it also makes you feel pretty good in your own heart.
Yes.
And let me just ask you this real quick before I get to Judy. Volunteering, tell me about the volunteering process. What do you have to do? How do you do it? What's involved in being a volunteer?
Well, you just have to have a heart for children, first of all, and a little bit of time to volunteer. We do have people that work full-time that are still able to do this. It takes, after you're trained, which that requires about 30 hours of training, and we can do that according to your schedule. You're able to do the training locally. I can train you. Sometimes we'll have classes of several people together. Sometimes it might be just one-on-one, depending on how many are training at a given time. And as I said, about 30 hours of training is required. You do need to make one court appearance during that time just to observe. And then we can get you sworn in and you're an officer of the court. The way that you would sign up for that is you can call me locally, and my phone number is 870-307-4614. Or you can call our main office, which is in Ash Flat, and I wrote that number down. It's 870-994-7844. We're also, the name of our organization is Gateway CASA. You can find us on Facebook, and also we have a web page, and that web page, which is www.gatewaycasa.org, has a link where you can fill out an application to volunteer for us.
Judy, talk a little bit about how you got involved and what exactly you're doing here as far as CASA is concerned.
I will. I am one of 2 board members from Jackson County. Our CASA is comprised of the 3rd Judicial District. That's Jackson, Lawrence, Randolph, and Sharp counties. And they're board members from each one of these counties on from the 3rd Judicial District. And when I came on board, we had no board members from Jackson County. We were kind of in a reorganization phase. Things were not going quite as well as we had hoped. And I came on board, and since then we've gained Sandra Massey, that you know very well here in Newport as the Chancellor of ASU. She's our other board member. And we have a great board that's very dedicated to doing what we can to help these children. But as board members, we're not allowed to volunteer. We don't work directly with the children. We have to keep the organization running. We have a paid staff, a director, and some assistant directors and people that work in our office to manage things, and we have other county coordinators besides Margaret.
I don't know that it's difficult to get volunteers, but it has. We want to try to get the word out, because I think if we get the word out, it won't be as difficult as what it seems like to get volunteers to help us.
That's been the problem, I think, is just getting the word out. Just like me being a board member, didn't know CASA needed board members, and I was approached actually by our executive director, and someone gave him my name. And because anything having to do with children are near and dear to my heart, I really couldn't say no. And I'm glad that I didn't. I've enjoyed it and looking forward to what our organization is able to do. But the volunteers are the key. They're the hands-on, and that's why we're here, to get the word out, because I know there are people that will do it and would love doing it if they have a chance. And we can also give them some volunteer names of people they can talk to and get some firsthand knowledge about what it's like. We have some wonderful volunteers.
Let's talk a little bit about Kentucky Derby Day. What is that? Tell us a little. It sounds to me like it's a horse race.
It is a horse race.
Tell us about this.
Well, we, as a board, decided that we needed to do a 4-county-wide fundraiser, which has not been done. CASA operates on grants and donations, totally. And we have, as I said, a paid staff. So we have needs for monies to be raised to help our children and do some things like that. And we came up with the idea, I know it's not original, other places have done this, but we're having a Kentucky Derby Day here in Newport at the Newport Country Club. The Kentucky Derby is always the first Saturday in May, so it'll be May the 7th from 3 to 6:30. The actual race will be around 5:30. We'll have big TV and everything for people to watch, but we're going to have a lot of fun activities and games, food, of course, and everything that goes with the derbies, where people can come in any attire, but we're hoping that ladies will wear their big hats and all decorated, and we're going to do some contests like that. A lot of people might be interested that we're going to have horseshoe pitching contest, and Alan Mooneyhan, that has helped do it at Port Fest, is going to help us with that endeavor. We're going to have other games and just a lot of fun things, and people can talk and just have a good time. And we really want to showcase Newport's hospitality. We're hoping that people from the other 3 counties will come and join us and realize what a good place Newport is to come to and to enjoy the people here.
What do you have to do to get involved in that, to be a part of that?
I tell you what, we're looking for corporate sponsors. We're selling tickets. We'll take donations for our silent auction. We're going to have a live auction. We're going to have door prizes. So we've got all levels of ways that people can come in to be involved. Just happen to have a ticket here. Our tickets are $35 a piece, which includes the heavy hors d'oeuvres and the things that we'll be doing. If someone, a business, wanted to buy maybe a table of 8 for their employees, then that would give them a little discount. That would be $250.
Sure.
And we're going to be going to businesses. We'll be knocking on doors, making some phone calls to get this going. And Sandra and I both are committed to seeing what we can do. And we really want to have a good first Kentucky Derby Day in Newport, Arkansas.
I bet it'll be fun.
I think it will
Might become an annual affair.
We hope
this
so.
one.
Yeah, that's great.
we would
Ladies,
love
I
what
appreciate
they-
y'all so much for coming to us and sharing with the audience about CASA and what you folks do. And it's a great organization, and it's a real helpful organization, but we need you. We need volunteers.
We need volunteers.
Yes, we do.
Thank y'all so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, David. We appreciate you having us.
You're quite well. John Chadwell, NEDC. Always a pleasure, my friend, to come down and visit and talk about great things going on in Newport, Arkansas. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing well. I think we talked about our hearts before we got on here. Your heart's doing fine, my heart's doing fine, and we're just hoping the event doesn't happen.
When the hearts are doing well, everything else seems to fall in line.
It does that. It does that. First of all, we got some beautiful art behind us and all across the showroom floor here. Art, and more art. What a successful art show. Talk a little bit about that.
It was a great art show. We had about 2,300 people come through in downtown Newport that day. Had 176 artists. They sold. That makes them all smile.
Absolutely.
And we've got 181 pieces all over the building here that have been donated. Those will be sold. You can buy them at retail value right now if you want to walk in, see a piece you like, or you can buy them at the auction in October, and all that money goes to be put in the pot for next year's show.
Good deal.
And so we keep it free to the public, free to the artist, and so that donation allows for that to happen.
Well, I mean, you talk about concessions and stuff and things. Lots of things going on at the art show, especially when you talk about 2,300 extra people in town. That's a great number of people to come in for an event.
It is. Well, the restaurants downtown did very well, but it wasn't just the restaurants downtown. I talked to U.S. Pizza. They had a big day.
Right.
So, restaurants, gas stations, stores. I know some people went shopping at different places in town while they were here. And so it was this. Plus, then it brands Newport. You know, people outside of Newport who came to visit have a much better opinion than they might have if they hadn't been here before. So it gives us a good brand. It gives us a good reputation. And then we send those artists away, and I would say 90% of them just are tickled to death with the day they've had. And so they become great ambassadors for us all over the state.
Well, when you go to an art show, and I didn't go this year, but when you've gone out of town and watched my son play baseball, but you see so many different types of, quote, art, paintings, pictures, and then when I pull up outside today, I look at something, it's a big old contraption, look at something, it's wrapped in what looked like silver. I said, that's got to be something in the art show that somebody bought or some demonstration piece going to use. It's a beautiful piece, nonetheless. And what is it?
Well, it's several pieces, actually. But it is exercise equipment.
Okay.
The Downtown Group Drive is putting in an exercise park, a fitness park downtown. Okay. So there'll be places where you can do sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups. But then there'll also be some mobile exercise equipment. There's like the outdoor elliptical trainers and all of that kind of stuff. And so you'll be able to, jog downtown, work out a little bit, jog home. And it was all made possible by a grant from Unity Health Harris Medical Center, who gave the money for the park.
Right.
And a New Vision team has worked on finding the right equipment, finding the people to help put it in, and so the equipment arrived today. So you just
looks like art to me.
And it'll look more like art when it's installed.
I bet it will. Yes, sir.
But we're really
identifiable art. Yeah,
we're really excited about it. We think it's just going to be another addition. I know people say, well, what in the world does all this kind of stuff have to do with economic development? What does it have to do with growing our community? Why is Drive doing some of this stuff? Well, it's all part of the puzzle, because we've got to not only get people working here, which we've started doing, and we see more money being spent here. Now that that's grown, we got to get people living here.
Right.
And people want to live a place that has amenities, that has neat things, different things to do. And the younger they are, the more fitness and health and welfare is important to them. So we're trying to do some things that make our town attractive or even more attractive for people to move in. And this is just one, it's not the biggest piece of the puzzle, but it's one piece of the puzzle. The dog park is another piece of the puzzle. So you have the farmer's market is another piece of the puzzle. So you got all these pieces, and you just add them as you have opportunity, and you're going to make the community a place where more and more people say, hey, I might kind of like to live there.
Absolutely.
That'd be a neat place to live.
And revitalization of downtown, I mean, big project. That's just not something that we can just kind of do right now, but it's a long-term deal.
It's a long-term deal, but we have a lot happening right now, and hopefully by Depot Days this year, we're going to have the stage up and that park pretty much ready, and we're excited about that. And then we got the new restaurant, or the existing restaurants building new buildings.
Absolutely,
and I had somebody the other day go, now, why in the world do we want a new McDonald's? We already got a McDonald's. Why do we want a new Sonic? We already got a Sonic. Why do we want a new Pizza Hut? We already got it. Get us something different. Get us something different. Well, companies look at a community, and when somebody who has a franchise for a restaurant drives through Newport, and the McDonald's is 25 years old, the Pizza Hut's 25 years old, and the Sonic's 25 years old, they think to themselves, do I really want to put a Wendy's in here?
Right, absolutely.
You know, nobody's built anything here in 25 years. There must be something going on here. I don't know if I want to invest. But when they drive into town and they say, ooh, McDonald's just built. Wow, Pizza Hut just built.
Absolutely.
Sonic just built. There must be something here worth investing in. Then they're more likely to invest as well. The two other things it does is, one, it makes town look a lot better.
It does.
I mean, it dresses up town. It makes town look a lot better. And then the thing that a lot of people don't realize is, except for McDonald's, I think we'll probably remove the building. The rest of the buildings will stay on the books. But you're going to have new buildings that in a lot of cases are worth 2 or 3 times as much money as the old building. That go on our property tax. And most of that money goes right to the school kids.
Absolutely.
And so it's going to be a benefit for our school kids. It's going to be a benefit for the way town looks, the way people perceive us. And then it's going to make other groups who think about building a restaurant, or other groups that we've brought some groups to town to look. They're going to look and go, well, if there's money being spread around here, I want to get my part of it.
Absolutely do.
And then they will have an opportunity. So I know people say, well, I want more, and man, I do too.
We all do.
But the phrase I told Sheridan the other night, I said, well, you know, 11 years ago, I moved here, everybody was fussing that we're not growing fast. We're not growing. I said, now people are fussing, well, we're not growing the right way.
That's right.
I said, so if people
something
are going
to fuss about.
If they're going to fuss, I'd rather fuss about not growing the right way than not growing at all.
Absolutely.
So, in the last decade, there is about $65 million more being spent in the city limits in Newport than there was 10 years ago.
Right.
So that's going to encourage people to come in. That's what's encouraging the new businesses we do have. That's what's encouraging the new investment we have, because it's not cheap to build a new McDonald's or Pizza Hut.
No,
or
absolutely
Sonic.
right.
And so somebody saying, hey, we've looked at Newport, we see what's going on here, and it's worth us investing that money here, because they could invest it somewhere else. It's worth investing that money here is a good testimony of what's going on in our town.
When you look at the plan coming in 11 years ago, and you look at where we are today, in all fairness, regardless of what anybody would think, I think we have by far exceeded our expectations. We're on goal to do everything that we wanted to do. We're doing things right. The plan's working.
The plan's working, and what we do here in the office, we've got a great group of folks who wake up every day and say, what can we do to make Newport better? I mean, that's really what we do. We wake up every day and say, what can we do that's going to help make Newport better? And to have a group of people in town who that's their priority makes a difference. It makes a difference. In fact, I was at a conference the other day, and that's the question they asked. They said, who in your town wakes up every day and says, what can we do to make it better?
Right.
Now, it's not just us by ourselves. There's a lot of people that as soon as we go to them and I say, hey, David, if you'll help me with this.
We'll get it done.
And then people get it done. And
Absolutely.
they say, oh, yeah. Because a lot of times people are doing their they're doing their business, they're doing their job, and they're living their life. And they want things to be better, but they're just waiting. And when somebody comes and says, hey, let me show you how you can be part of it, people jump
Absolutely.
in. And this town is great about that.
It's great about that. Yeah, regardless of the cause. Mm-hmm. Regardless of the cause.
Well, you know, when I go around the state and people talk about Newport, to a person, they're all jealous because we've got a sales tax for economic development. We're able to raise money for a downtown park. every time they come to town and we have an event, it's staffed with volunteers coming out our ears.
Yes.
And they're like, how do y'all get so many people involved in the process down there? And it's because the people here want to be involved. They want to take responsibility for their own town, and that's a big, big thing.
Well, and who would have dreamed 40 years ago that, you'd say, well, in Newport, we're going to have a college. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a college. I mean, we wouldn't even dreamed about it. We don't have a college here, And so, I mean, that's a success story in itself. But NEDC has been a success story. Some might not believe that. There may be a few out there, but it has been a tremendous success story for Newport, Arkansas, no doubt.
Well, the having the resources to use is very, very important. Having a group of folks, the 9 folks who run the commission or who are on the commission, is huge. But this is something that other towns look at us and go, the mayor, the county judge, economic development, the chamber of commerce, the school system, the college, the bank, everybody's on the same page.
Everybody's on the same team.
Everybody's playing together. We very rarely have any conflict. When somebody comes up with an idea, we all bat it around. If it's a good idea, man, we're all supporting it. It doesn't matter whose idea it was. That is not common in communities.
No, at most communities it's not common.
And that's what's made the difference here, is that we have the resources through the money that the NEDC has to do some things, but then we also have this group of people in leadership positions who are all pulling the same direction and want the same things, and that makes a huge difference.
Well, and there's a lot of folks out there who invest in small business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like the Chad Wells say, look, in acquiring parties, you say, look, I want to invest and I want to make this thing work. I want to make this my home. This is my home, so let's make it work. You guys are making it work.
Everything's working.
John Chadwell, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Continued success and hard work in what you do right here. And let me tell you what, there's a lot of folks that appreciate what we're doing.
Well, I agree.
NEDC, and let's continue on with more of our program. White River Area Agency on Aging in Batesville, and of course Miss Peggy Pierce joins us again, and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome back, I should say.
Thank you. It's been a while.
It has been, but you get to visit with us on more than 1 or 2 occasions during the course of the year, and Mr. Ted said he thought it'd be a good time for you to talk about something that's very, very important when you start dealing with the legislative type branch of the government. We have lots of things that we need to talk about because we need some help.
We do. What I really wanted to talk about today is an event that's going to happen in August of this year, and that's the 2016 Silver-Haired Legislative Session. And for those that might not be familiar with what it is, it's a mock legislative session for people that are 60 or older that want to know more about the state legislative process and want to become a stronger advocate for aging issues. And what's going to happen, the reason we're talking about it right now is we are seeking delegates to go to this legislative session in August. The press releases will go out August 1st. People that are 60 or older, if they're interested, give me a call. I said they have to get 25 signatures on the petition. Okay. Then we will have a day of training when we get our delegates selected here at the Batesville office. And what we'll talk about is when somebody has an idea and how to get that idea to a legislator and how it becomes a bill, how it goes through the process that has to go through the House and then to the other side, and how an idea can actually become a law.
A law, sure.
Yes. Once we get our delegates selected, we'll come here for a day of training and we'll talk about that process, and then we invite one of our state representatives or senators to come and talk about their experiences at the House or the Senate, in whichever side they've served. And our delegates will have a chance to ask them questions, and they kind of give them ideas about how to approach them if they have an idea or if they have an opinion about a bill that's coming up, things like that. Once we get through with the training and we tell these delegates to come with ideas, we will put all their ideas on the board and we vote, and we narrow those ideas down to 3 bills that we will take to the legislature.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It gets even more fun. So this process is being replicated in all the 8 AAAs in the state.
Okay.
In August, we will go to the Capitol, and the first day, these bills that we have all put together will go through these different committees, and And the committees, they can either be amended or they can pass or not pass.
Sure.
Sometimes when we get there, we have a bill that is real closely related to somebody else's bill, so
Right.
we might say, okay, let's just pull our bill in favor of their bill.
I got you.
Or let's take this part of our bill and let's amend their bill with this. So
Come back.
it's kind of an abbreviated session, learning session,
Sure,
but
absolutely.
it's a fun thing. Okay, after those bills go through the committees the first afternoon, there's a reception for the delegates. This year we're going to the governor's mansion, so
Wow.
that's always fun and nice. The second day, they do the opening ceremonies, and then the delegates actually get to go down to the well in the house and speak for their bill. Okay, once they speak for their bill, they'll open it up. Anybody want to speak against the bill, for the bill? So
Wow.
it kind of like the real
thing.
legislature. And actually, they have the person who, trying to think of the right word, the person who keeps them on proper protocol at the House. He's
Speaker,
the
maybe?
speaker,
Speaker
not the speaker, the parliamentarian.
Okay,
The
parliamentarian.
parliamentarian will actually be there, and
Okay.
he will keep everybody kind of on the same processes that they follow. So it's a fun learning experience, and it's just a good way to learn about the state legislative process. If anybody's interested, if you're 60 or older.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean,
Okay.
they're going down there to be legislators. I
They are.
mean that's non-elected but selected.
But they have to get signatures.
You have to get selected by the process.
And actually, if we have more than one in a county, we're supposed to have kind of a runoff. We go to a senior center or somewhere and have a runoff between those two. Now, it's nonpartisan. It's not going to be nasty like the politics we're seeing on TV today. We're not going to have
It's
any of that.
politicians without the
Without the politics.
Without the politics.
Without the nasty.
Yeah, that's right. And tell us about this particular program. How long has it been going on? How to get started? So, you know, this is a
will
good
be
program.
the 20th. Yes, this
Yeah.
will be the 20th session that they've had. And one thing that I think is special is there's only two groups that actually get to use the House, and that is the silver-haired legislators,
Okay.
and the boy state and girl state.
Oh, is
So
that
those
right?
those are the
Is
only
that
ones
right?
that actually get to use the House. So I think that's kind of special too. And the other piece of that is once these bills go through this process, the Division of Aging and Adult Services, they compile all these bills and they send them to the real legislators so that they get an idea what's on the minds of seniors, what they think is important. So, and from time to time, one of them will pick up one of those bills and say, hey, this is a good idea, and they will introduce it in the real legislature.
Right.
So it's an idea, a way to have an impact on senior issues.
Well, it's a way for somebody who is in that senior age group to participate, and because not all legislators are in that senior group.
True.
You know, some of them are younger than that, and a lot of them are younger than that, and that may or may not be aware of some of those issues that are out there. That you could go down and explain what some of the issues that you have in a particular area, or you know, in the age groups is in general. What do they have to do to what's the first thing that these folks have to do if they go, yeah, I saw that on TV and I'd like to learn a little bit more about that? What do they need to do?
Give me a call. I'm going to send them a petition that they have to get the 25 signatures on. They have to have them back to us by, I believe it's April 15th.
Okay.
We have to have them back here. And once we get our delegates in place, then we'll notify them when the training, we'll set up our training. And it's just a good program. I think people enjoy it. And
I do. I think it'd be a great program. I remember as a kid getting to go to the state capitol and the old state house convention, and then when we went boy state, girl state, that when I was in boy state, we were a little bit older and we got to learn a little bit more about what all went down there, and literally amazed. And then I think it triggers that mind to go, you know, that's interesting. I never wanted to be a politician. I never wanted, but I've always been interested in how the political system works, how the legislative system works, and the different branches of government, who has this right, and the checks and balances, they say. But I mean, government's a pretty interesting subject in itself, and there's a lot of us out there that tell folks how it needs to be done.
That's right.
So here's an opportunity here.
Well, and it's kind of an idea, I think, to see what's on the minds of our seniors, what they think's important.
Sure.
And we tell them with these bills, if you're going to introduce something, we want it to be realistic. If you're going to introduce something that's going to cost money, you better introduce a way to fund it.
Right.
You know that.
Right, sure.
So it's just an idea, a way to get your ideas to the people who really do pass these things. You know, can really make them happen, and it's a very enjoyable experience.
I bet it would be. I bet.
Yeah.
We need volunteers. We
do.
need some delegates.
One from every county.
So you folks get in touch with Miss Peggy Pierce here at White River Area Agency on Aging in Batesville. Phone numbers. Of course, we always put them at the bottom of the screen anyway.
Okay,
They'll be
it's
on the bottom of the screen.
1-800-382-3205.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of your screen, as you say. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
I just so interesting that we're going to get some delegates to represent
Yes.
who we represent.
That's right.
White River Area Agency on Aging, and the show continues. We're at Farmer's Tire Mart, where we come each and every month to visit with my good friend, Tommy Bain. How are you, sir?
Doing fine. Doing fine.
Listen, I'm telling you, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous early February day when we film. Temperatures maybe in the 50s, but short sleeves, thermal. I'm cold. He's just normal. You're just a short sleeve guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I got some long sleeve shirts, but seldom wear them.
I don't think I've ever seen you in one. You don't need one, do you?
No. Occasionally, maybe.
When the snow's on the ground, do you have a coat you put on every now and
I
then?
have a jacket.
Oh, you do have a little jacket? That's good.
I carry a jacket in my truck.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Okay. Hey, we want to talk a little bit about tires, and we're into the winter time, even though it was a gorgeous day when we filmed. But it's still that time, Tommy. If people are going to need snow tires, we've got them and we can get them. Talk a little bit about our snow tires.
Got them, and the more tread you have on a tire when there's snow on the ground, and the better you are. You know, better off you are. The tread and the tread segments, tread sipes, and all that. It's what grips.
Sure.
So the better the tread, the better the traction.
Absolutely.
And this last little spell we had, we were extremely busy.
Right.
And I appreciate that, folks.
You betcha.
But this is the 1st of February, and we generally have some more of that stuff come along in February, and sometimes 1st of March.
Sometimes in April.
But it's the time of the year that tires need to be replaced, and so we have most of them in stock.
Wide range of different types of tires that we offer here.
Highway tread, all-terrain tread, and mud tread. We have a lot of those in stock, and need to sell them.
Right, sure we do.
Yeah,
need to move them
so we can generate more taxes and
here in the community.
In the
yes,
community.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Helps everybody, not just me. It helps everybody.
But Tommy, I mean, when you talk about selling tires, we don't talk price a lot on this program because we don't. But let me tell you, we're going to sell those tires at a fair price. We're going to sell them all at a fair price.
Yes. To borrow from one of the big conglomerates in the nation. We have everyday low prices.
Everyday low prices,
everyday
absolutely,
low prices.
Sure.
We don't try to make a killing.
Right.
We try to make a living.
Absolutely.
And it takes a little bit of profit to stay in business.
It does that.
And so we don't try to injure people when we price them tires, but we have to charge more than what we pay for them.
Absolutely. At least you hope you can
survive.
Absolutely. So you could be here for us when we need you.
That's right.
I mean, that's exactly why you do that. And anybody that's a business person or anybody that's watching would know. It's kind of like if you've got bills every month, you hope that your paycheck will cover all your bills with a little left over. That's what you give so much for a tire. You hope that the check you get for those tires, or whatever the case may be, will be a little bit more than what you gave for those tires.
Absolutely.
And I'll say this, folks. I ask you, if you're in the tire market, come get a price from this guy. Come, if you've never done any business with us, that's okay. Those that are doing business with us have been doing business with us for a long time.
Long time. Yes.
I challenge you to come ask him about a price on tires. I think you'll be competitive.
Oh yes, definitely, and better than most.
Absolutely.
Better than most.
Absolutely.
I've been told that time and time again. Said, how can you sell them so cheap? And we don't. I don't refer to them as cheap tires.
Right. Yeah. Inexpensive. Yeah.
Inexpensive tires,
Yeah.
economical tires, and some of them are those import tires, and as a rule, the biggest majority of the tires on the market today are import tires.
Is that right? Yeah.
And not too many are made in America anymore.
Is that right?
But there is a few, and we keep a few of them. But we also keep some of the import.
Well, you've got to
import
keep
tires.
you got to keep what the public wants, and that's what the public wants.
That's absolutely.
Got a lot of tires, and especially four-wheel drive trucks. You talk about those mud terrain tires. We've got several different styles to choose from, but I mean, people just buy those things. I mean, just they buy them, and they take care of the trucks and let's talk about service. Let's talk about service right here. Talk about not just a farmer, but anybody can get service on their automobile here.
Anybody can, absolutely. There's not very many people in this world that I don't like.
That's right.
And I do business for those people I like, and I do business for those people I don't like.
There are not very many of them, are there?
Not many.
No, sir.
Not many.
No, sir.
But we appreciate everybody that comes in and gives us a chance at their business. We appreciate it, and we try to treat people the way we want to be treated, and that's just plain and simple.
Absolutely.
And if we can do that, then I can sleep at night.
I guarantee you. I guarantee. We got lots of service on automobiles, from oil changes to front end work, brake work. I mean, we take care of the automobile.
Brake work, front end parts, and oil changes, like you said, and transmission services.
Sure.
And this all kinds of work on those things.
When you hear that little thump, 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 thump on the front end of your car, your truck, and you kind of go, I don't know what that is, but if I'll take it down to Tommy will figure out what that is.
We'll figure it out.
Everything going good, my friend?
Everything's going great.
Good deal. If you need tires, if you need service on your automobile, and again, I challenge you to come down here. First of all, I'll introduce you to one of the finest men you'll ever meet in your life. And a great family, salt of the earth people, very, very good people, who I love dearly. My friend, I'll buy my next set of tires from you, I promise.
That'd be mighty good.
Tommy Bain, Farmers Tire Mart, where?
1501 Malcolm Avenue, where the rubber meets the road.
Lindley Health and Rehab Center in Newport, and each and every month we either come by and visit with some of the fine folks that are employed at this great institution, or we have a little party, and this time we're going to be talking to some folks as opposed to having a party, but we got more parties planned for you. Sherry Hanley, who does all the marketing and puts everything together. And Sherry, I'm going to let you introduce the two guests we have today.
Okay. Today we have a couple of Lindley's family members here, team members. We have Janet Tyner, who is DON. We have Bobby Williams, who is ADON. And I just want to let them kind of tell everybody what they do. They do an amazing job. They are a big part of our Lindley family, Lindley team, and just kind of let them tell everyone what they do around here.
Well, we can start with Bobby, and Bobby, just first of all, tell us a little bit about you, local girl. I mean, been here a long time. Tell us a little bit about you.
I grew up in Newport. I went to Newport High School. Yay, Greyhounds. I now live in Tuckerman. Go Bulldogs. Yay. I came to Lindley about 2 years ago and have loved every minute of it. I'm amazed at the work that is done here, at the residents that become our families. And then we incorporate a holistic care here. We get religion, yay, and then excellent medical care. I can't say enough about the nurses, the camaraderie we have with the doctors as well. They are good to us and they're good to the residents. Back to me, I have been a nurse. I've been in the nursing profession over 27 years.
Wow.
And my area of expertise was the emergency room, and now I am here, and I plan to be the best.
Oh, I bet you will be. I bet
plan.
you will be. Janet, tell us a little bit about you. You kind of like we're old Newport folks around here. Tell us a little bit for those folks that might not know you.
Okay. Well, I'm Janet Tyner, and I was born and raised in Newport and lived here all my life. I have 3 grown children, 1 grandson, and 1 on the way, possibly this next week. And my parents are longtime residents here. They had an assisted living in Newport, and so I kind of grew up in this atmosphere. A little trivia, my grandmother, Marshawn, was the director of nursing at GP&W down on Calhoun Street many, many years ago. And then her daughter, my Aunt Janine, was the director of nursing at GP&W also, which grew into be Lindley, and now I'm the director of nursing here. So it's kind of like a family tradition, and we're very proud of that.
Talk a little bit about director of nursing. I'll get back to these ladies in a minute. Director of nursing has a lot of responsibilities, as everybody in this institution does. Everybody at this place of business has tremendous responsibility. What are your main responsibilities as the director of nursing?
Well, as the director of nursing here at Lindley, I do have a lot of responsibilities, but what I do love is we are a team. There's a lot of spokes in the wheel, and it makes my job a lot easier. I'm over the scheduling of the LPNs, the hiring and the firing of the LPNs, and just oversee their processes along with Bobby's help. We have a front station and a back station, and we've kind of chosen to just split the building in half. She's kind of the leader of the back, and I'm the leader of the front. We work very, very well together. As Sherry was saying, we kind of speak our own special language sometimes. No one else can follow us, but we know what we're talking about. And so we make a really good team. I work very closely with Jenna Austin, the administrator, about the day-to-day running of the building.
Sure.
Our main goal here, top priority, is to make sure our residents are healthy and happy. And we have a wonderful working relationship with all the providers in town that come through our building. And then we have just incorporated an APN that comes through with Dr. Fuentes. And we're very pleased with that avenue being opened up. As far as day to day, it's just I come in, it's like walking into grandma's house,
Right.
Breakfast is cooking and the residents are coming down to eat, and I just love seeing each and every one of them and interacting with them every morning. That's kind of my time, is early in the morning to hit the floors and kind of see how things are going, and then just put out fires as they come up. But I just can't reiterate enough about what a great team Lindley is. As Sonny Burgess called it, the Lindley Country Club. It is like a little community all of its own, and it's a high hum most days.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
I bet it is. Bobby, let me ask you, we often hear the terminology, and I'm going to ask you a question that'll be easy to answer. I'm an RN, I'm an LPN, and I've gone to LPN school, and I know what the difference is, but explain to people what the difference in the training is between an LPN and an RN. What is an RN?
Well, an RN is a registered nurse, and they have a couple more years of education.
Okay.
With a bachelor's degree, you have 4 years. With an associate's, you have 2. With an LPN, they go through basically 1 year.
Okay.
The LPNs that we have here are well trained. They are dependable. They know their residents. One of the big things that we have here is continuity of care. So we try to maintain the LPN with the resident for their special needs, for them, that one-on-one, I know you, you know me. And like Janet said, this is their home. The LPN is, she's the first line.
Right,
and
okay.
if she needs a backup, she's got us. Then we have the CNAs. They are trained as well and they're certified. And they are absolutely the first line.
Right.
They are there with the residents constantly. And I can't brag enough about the CNAs that we have here. I would put them up against anywhere.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I bet. Well, I'm gonna tell you, when you walk into this place, it's just special. That's what I've always thought. It's just special.
It is. It is. A lot of laughter.
Yeah.
You know, we have learned to adore. They have grabbed us up, and we live in their world, and they share their life with us, and we're the blessed ones. I mean, each day we get to talk with these amazing folks, and they have stories, and we laugh with them, and then their families. You know, their families are incorporated in what we do as well. What the residents do, they are welcome here, and they sit with us, and so, you know, it's just, we have gained family.
Yeah, and we've talked about that. We have 108 residents that live here, and but that family member just has mom or dad.
Right.
And so we really, really try to make family part of our team. We don't want it to be us and them. We want to be a team, and I think we do that really well here. I want to second what Bobby said about our staff, our CNA staff. We have CNA classes that we actually provide through Lindley. We pay these girls and boys to go through the class, and we pay for their test, for them to set the test. Most places this could be anywhere from $500 to $1,000 that they have to pay out of pocket. But we do that here at Lindley because we want to recruit the best of the best, and we want them trained the way we want them trained. And I've had so many people tell me I don't enjoy coming into a nursing home, but that's changed since I've been coming into Lindley, and that is a huge source of pride and for me and for all of us.
Sherry, I think you have hit a home run here on bringing some folks in that care about Lindley and their residents, and we're just having fun, aren't we?
We are. I can't say enough about our staff. We are staff, but we're family. This is a wonderful home. It's just so much. It's just so full of love and laughter. You know, I've had friends of mine say, "Oh, well, how could you work in a nursing home? You know, wouldn't it be sad?" Well, they've never been to Lindley. That's all I can say.
That's right.
It's like a cruise ship around here. You know, we're always, number one is their health. Number two is their happiness. And they have that here. They have that here. And like Janet said, you know, we are family. We are blessed to get to spend each and every day here with these wonderful, wonderful people. And they have some amazing stories of their life. And every day I get up and I can't wait to get to work. Cannot wait.
We'll even spend the night if she has
That's
to.
right. I spend the night.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We run 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You know, we don't stop just because the roads are bad. You know, we do whatever it takes to make sure that our little residents, our little grandmas and grandpas, are taken care of.
And you get an extra day this year, by the way.
That's
You
right.
get a day.
We do.
Yeah.
I want to thank y'all so very much for coming and talking and sharing your stories with us and with the public. And I know everybody's excited to be at Lindley.
Yeah.
We are.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, David.
Let's continue on with more of our show.
After
We welcome Dr. Saul Sands to
Hi,
the
sir.
program. Good to
Hi,
see
sir.
you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we got introduced to you a couple of months ago when y'all first got here down in the conference room, but we thought we'd take this time and try to find out a little bit about you guys and want to find out, first of all, where were you born, Dr. Sands, and where you grew up, and tell me about the medical school where you attended.
Okay. I was born in Burma and actually grew up in Illinois, Michigan, and I did my undergrad in Illinois, and then did my medical school in Michigan State University. And then I did my internship that was in the Army in Washington, D.C. Yes, sir.
In the Army, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on because we'll talk about you getting to be in those Black Hawk helicopters. But let me ask you this, and you answer this as truthful as you possibly can answer. Not only that, but I mean amazingly that you answer. Why medicine? Why did you want to become a doctor? Why did you do that?
Well, medicine's, well, basically, you know, I love helping people, and and then I think I can do probably, I can help
Sure.
most
Absolutely.
by being a doctor. So, and that's why I
At what age were you when you decided that's what you might want to do? I mean, was that like a young man, or how did you decide that?
Well, I think I was pretty young,
Yeah.
I decided, I wanted to do something, and the medicine should be probably become the best route for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talk a little bit about some of the things that you like about Arkansas, or that's different about Arkansas, and then how long have you been in Arkansas? Let's ask you that first.
Oh, well, I was in Texas, so I kind of,
Right, yeah.
know the weather a little bit, but Arkansas has been great.
Good.
I think I came down here, last year sometime in April, I think.
Okay.
And it's been great. I love the weather, and I love the people. So.
Good deal. Newport, Arkansas is a town of real friendly people.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
it is a town of real friendly people, and I'm a native here. I was born in the old Harris Hospital many years ago, many years ago, and I always call it our hospital of choice, even though it's Harris Medical Center now, and involved with Unity Health. But Continuity Care Clinic is a great clinic, and we're glad to have you guys in Newport, Arkansas. Got to ask you this before we get out. We mentioned the Black Hawk helicopters. Tell us about getting to flying those things.
No, I mean, if you're in the Army and if you're a medical officer, you're going to have to fly.
Right.
You're going to have to be in
Sure.
Black Hawk helicopters one time or another. So that's how we medevac people.
Sure.
And then how do we move soldiers, and that's all it is.
Good deal. Hobbies, anything that you like to do, in your spare time? I know most of the time doctors don't have a lot of spare time, but what do you try to do in your spare time?
I like to run, because
Yeah.
I do, and probably I like to eat, and then at the same time you got to read. So
Absolutely.
Typically that's what and then
Absolutely.
follow the news.
Absolutely.
Mhm. That's basically it.
Michigan State sounds like a Spartan to me.
It is. It is.
And you're in the heart of Razorback country is where you are, sir, but that's okay. That's okay. Doc, we welcome you to
sir.
Newport, Arkansas. We're glad you're here. We hope it's a great three-year run, and hopefully after that you might choose to make this hometown
Sure, sir.
our hometown, your hometown. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
We're visiting with Ziad Ghanem from Continuity Care Clinic here in Newport. How'd I do on the name, sir?
You got it.
I got it,
Right on
didn't
the
I?
money.
I
Yeah.
get 5 bonus points for that.
You can double it, give you 10.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Well, sir, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about where you were born and growing up, and
Sure.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about you.
So I was born in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. Don't remember it. I was raised in Austin, Texas. And,
Okay.
and Dallas, Texas. And most of my life I spent in Dallas and Fort Worth. Went to Plano schools up in North Dallas, and
Yeah.
went to UT Dallas, which is for college. Got 2 degrees. Well, I got 1 degree and a minor. I got engineering degree and minor in biology, and then I went to medical school in Fort Worth, Texas.
In Fort Worth.
Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine, TCOM.
Let me ask you this about being there. Looking back, and obviously we all choose career paths based on something. Why medicine for you? Why did you pick medicine?
It's a good question, actually. Since I was a non-traditional student and that I was in electrical engineering first, I actually really enjoyed the challenge it poses, because in engineering you're learning about the unknown of math and science and all that, but in medicine it's our bodies and our health and stuff. So yeah, and internal medicine is what I ended up going into now is kind of gives you the biggest challenge about learning about your body and your life.
And people talk all the time about doctors practicing medicine, because that's what we do. I mean, it's not like rocket science. I mean, we look and we guide and we eliminate and
Sure.
we try to diagnose, and the bottom line is to diagnose, and especially in internal medicine. And let me ask you about your stay here in Newport thus far. You've been here a couple of months. How's it going?
It's going well.
Good. What do you like about being around Newport? Small community, you say, yeah. You
no traffic, which is very nice coming from Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
You go 5 miles, you drive 30 minutes.
That's correct. That is correct.
Yeah, so, fortunately, I haven't been able to get out on the river yet. That's the White River.
White River, there's lots of lakes. And I mean, you do fishing? You do sports?
I do a lot of fishing.
Is that right? Tell me about fishing. What kind of fishing do you like?
All sorts of fishing. Texas, I was pretty much doing all the freshwater fishing.
Yeah.
White bass, largemouth.
Yeah.
Catfish, all the good stuff. Stripers, hybrids. Even went to the coast a bunch of times, do some coastal fishing.
Right.
Did some.
I'm an old crappie guy. I'm just a crappie guy. You know, lazy fishing. I don't want to stand up the boat. I just want to put my pole in there and get one.
Get something, right?
Absolutely right.
Absolutely. They taste good too.
I guarantee you they do. Guarantee. Any other hobbies? Anything else that you like doing besides fishing?
Yeah, a couple other things. Something I haven't been able to do much this year, but I like to get out in my kayak and get on a river. And
yes, sir.
Last December, I guess in 2014, I went out with some friends and we kayaked the Rio Grande, which was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, I went down some canyons, 80 miles, and camped out on either side of the border. And
what a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
What a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that you're sports oriented, and I mean, being here in Newport, we love Newport, Arkansas. We welcome you here.
Glad to be here.
We hope it's a great stay for you. Challenging at times, just like anything is. And I can't imagine being a doctor anywhere, but you know, I just think it's a positive that you come to Newport, Arkansas, and be a part of our community, and we thank you for doing that, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good to see you, my friend. Let's continue on with more of our show here on the Business Spotlight. We're at the 1900 block of Malcolm Avenue in Newport, and that's the location of the Jackson's Funeral Home, and been here a lot of years. And Jan Jackson Maris joins us once again on our program, and welcome and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, David.
You guys are in a business where you are making folks comfortable at a very, very important times in their life when they lose a loved one. But it has hit home at Jackson Funeral Home. Your brother, Mr. Jerry Hewlett, who everybody in Jackson County in Northeast Arkansas knows, passed away, and we want to spend a little time in talking about Jerry on this program.
Thank you, David. Actually, my parents married in 1961, and my mother had Jerry and Linda, so Jerry always related that when they decided to get married, that my dad came and asked Jerry and Linda and Mother to marry him. So okay. when they married, all three of them were married.
Right.
And then I came along in 63, and Jerry and I have always been very close. He carried me out of the Harris Hospital, which is now the welfare office. And when Jessica, my daughter, was born, he was bound and determined that he was going to carry her out too. But of course, Rhett wanted to do that too. So Jerry carried her to the door, and Rhett carried her from the door to the car.
That's
which
right.
It's just a good, fun memory.
It is.
But Jerry tried different things in his life after he went to the Army, but none of them suited. He always wanted to be here. He always wanted Newport to be his home, and Swifton his second home, and Deer Camp his third home. But can we cut that?
Sure.
Okay. Newport was always Jerry's home.
Right.
Always. And he loved the time he spent in Swifton with our grandparents. And but Newport, anytime he left, whether you went on a vacation with him, whether he went to visit somebody, in about 2 days, he was ready to come back home.
Really?
Back home.
Loved it, didn't he?
Loved home. And he loved Jackson's Funeral Home. He loved the people that we work for, all the families. He really cared about the people that he served. And Jerry was probably one of the very best in his craft. My dad and he worked together. He learned a lot from my dad, and I think my dad learned a lot from him. I mean, their personalities were totally different, but they complemented each other. Mine and Jerry's personalities were a lot the same and a lot different, but I feel like we complemented each other. I think it's a really nice thing when your siblings, when you get to work together and you're not just family, you're friends too.
Sure.
And you and Bud do that,
Sure.
and y'all are
yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
And Jerry was a master at what he did, and he has taught Chris and Brian and John a lot, and Nick too, very much. So we will not miss a beat, I can promise you that.
Right.
And just like when we lost my dad in July of '96, somebody said they never thought we'd stand, but then they came back and said, but you never missed a beat.
Right.
And we won't miss a beat now because we've been taught well, and we love the people we work for. And when it comes my turn, that I'm the one who's gone, I totally trust that they will not miss a beat.
It will continue.
It will continue.
What a legacy.
They will not miss a beat.
Yeah, what a legacy. And you and I talked about that before we got on the air, that you had to learn from Dad. I mean, you had to learn from Dad, and then the things that you have learned, whatever you learn in the funeral business, somebody has to teach you. And then obviously, not only did he do it the right way, your dad, but he taught it the right way. I mean, Jerry was a master at just being one of those great guys that you never heard a bad thing about anywhere at any time. It was always, whether he was out in the public, whether hunting or fishing, whatever the case may be, you never heard a bad word about Jerry Hewlett. It was always good. And I know I'm talking too much, and it's your show.
Oh, no.
But I do want to relate a story. Galen Farmer, dear friend of mine, and I went to work at George Kell Motor Company in 1990. Mm-hmm. And I stayed there for 4 years. And every morning for those 4 years, Jerry Hewlett would walk in there early. He'd go to the back and get soda pops, and he'd bring them back, and he and Galen sit there and visit for about 10 minutes. And he'd always come home and speak to me, and just a great guy.
Jerry loved his routine. He always woke up early, and if he didn't go hunting, then he was coming to work, and he was stopping at Kell's first for many years.
Absolutely.
And actually, the last time I went to the doctor with Jerry, we stopped back by the nursing home and saw Galen. So
is that right?
And Jerry loved Galen, and I know Galen loved Jerry too. So
they were good buddies.
They were a good friendship. Jerry had lots of really devoted and wonderful friends. Jimmy Heatherly is somebody who was his neighbor for over 20 years, and anytime Jerry was in the hospital or when he had to go to the nursing home, Jimmy always came by to see him, and I'm very grateful for that too.
Well, I do know this, that of all the years that you could drive by and you pulled in the parking lot, if he happened to be walking through the parking lot, he'd make sure that he stopped me, and I don't know if he always knew it was me, but he would just to visit, just say hello. I mean, he was just one of those type of guys, and I remember that. I mean, those are things that etch in your heart. And I know he'll be missed, but I know you guys will be solid, strong, and keep on plugging.
We are. And, we'll keep doing things the way that my dad taught us.
Sure.
And the way Jerry taught us. And one thing that my dad was always adamant about, and something that came naturally to Jerry, which was to be highly competitive on everything, is no matter how you're doing stuff right now today, we look for a better way.
Right.
Is there a better way we can do this? Is there a better way we can serve the families? How can we be better? So we won't stop that either. We will continue doing that, because I think to not be satisfied, to always look for something better, means that you really love what you do, and we all really love what we do. And I personally am grateful for everybody helping us take care of Jerry these last several months. The people at Lindley and the sitters that stayed with him were phenomenal, and the people who came to visit him, and the people who shared stories and things, because he was always up to some kind of joke or trick or to scare you was his best amusement ever. But our family really does appreciate the care that Newport has taken of us for all these years.
Thank you, young lady.
Thank you.
Always,
Happy New Year.
always my pleasure to see you, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Let's continue on with more of our show. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Bud Black's Pool Hall. Well, actually, just it's one pool table, but we're here to talk sports on behalf of ENG. Kenny Thaxton and his bunch at ENG Lending in the Mall. Let me tell you what, they have become the hot commodity around Jackson County, Northeast Arkansas. Folks that are borrowing money to build a home, to buy a home, you want to refinance your home at a little lower rate, you got to go see them. I mean, over a long period of time, over a 10, 15, 30-year mortgage, they'll save you tons of money. Tons of money. Tell them we sent you by there, okay? ENG Lending, they're in the mall. Can't miss them. Go by there and talk to Kenny. All right, let's talk some baseball. Cardinals. You know, Whitey Herzog one time when the Cardinals were going through a rash of injuries said, seems to happen to us every year. Do these guys not ever eat meat and have any protein and build up muscles? He said, I got to get these guys to eating meat, doing something wrong, so we got to get some protein. The Cardinals last year won 100 games and might have won 130 if they not had injuries to keep people along the way, starting with Adam Wainwright, their ace pitcher, at the start of the season, and losing their leader, Yadier Molina, toward the end of the season. Had those guys been there all along, who knows what could have happened for the Cardinals. They might have won the World Championship indeed. Now they're rocking along this year. They make a few changes. They're ready to go. They signed Mike Leake as a pitcher to fill in for the injured Lance Lynn, another injury. And lo and behold, they get to spring training, and they're starting shortstop. A guy can hit the ball out of the park, one of the few guys in their lineup. Johnny Peralta goes down with a torn ligament, similar to the injury that Molina had. What do? You have to just wait for it to heal. It takes maybe 3 months, maybe past the All-Star break, before Peralta gets back in the lineup. So you've lost one of your most prolific home run hitters in a team that doesn't have many. I mean, Carpenter hit 28 last year, and Peralta's capable of hitting 20 when he's healthy. He wore down in the second half of the season last year. Didn't do very well at all, but had a great first half. But without his offensive production, and the Cardinals are a team who have to have offense this year because of the way the Cubs are going to knock the ball out of the park, what do? Well, they got this kid from San Diego, Jerko. He's not a bad player, by the way. I don't think he's a regular day-to-day player. He's more of a fill-in. But as a fill-in last year, I think he hit 17 home runs for San Diego. Playing in a ballpark, he might as well be playing in the Grand Canyon. That thing's huge out there. But he got 17 homers. And he's capable of hitting a bunch at Busch Stadium and playing every day. They don't think his defense is quite up to par. What they like to do, the Cardinals like to prevent runs as much as make runs or scoring runs. So we'll have to see. They do have this kid that everybody's talking about, Diaz. I can't even pronounce his first name, Almeidas or Aldemias or something like that. But anyway, he's 25 years old. Not really a kid. He's 25. He can play. He's a Cuban refugee. They signed him for $8 million signing bonus. He started out absolutely horrible. They thought they were going to lose him. They put him actually on waivers, and nobody else wanted him. Then all of a sudden, after he got off waivers, he got this motivation. I better play ball. I'm here and can be a St. Louis Cardinal member, a valuable organization and team. So the second half of last year, he just went nuts at the plate and defensively. He became the player of the organization. And this spring, he's off to a great start. So instead of Jerko, they're beginning to think the kid, can he handle the pressure? Can he get out there? Can he get the job done? He's got a great arm. He gets to the ball. He does things well. Okendo is teaching him. Cardinals are making a lot of moves around. Holliday's been working a lot at first base. You know, they said all along he'd never play at first base, never play at first base. They don't need him at first base, and you look up in spring, and who's at first base? Matt Holliday. Oh, let's all believe what the Cardinals tell us. They ain't going to tell you anything. Anyway, if you're a fan, watch them, listen to them, root for them. It's going to be fabulously interesting. But they continue to have those injuries, those key major injuries. I would tell the Cardinals one thing. Play hard, and guys, eat some protein.
That's a quick look at sports. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody. I'm Bud Black. So long for now.
Locally owned and operated Merchants and Planners Bank in downtown Newport is where we're filming today, but lots of locations, and you are Tara Salinas.
That I am.
Good to see you, girl.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
How is everything going at Merchants and Planners Bank?
Well, it's just it couldn't be any better. We're doing great. We're kicking off the new year. Have lots of new exciting things in store for our customers. So yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff coming down the line.
Terry, you and I talked about before we got on here that we talk about change from time to time, and a lot of us don't like change, but I mean, change is the way of the world. But we have some change coming for us, and we got a little program going on, a little not promotion as such, but this is us. This is Merchants Planners Bank. Tell us about the change.
Well, you know, it's a new year, and the start of a new year, and everybody's made their resolutions and things to maybe amend if you want to change your weight, your wardrobe,
Right.
you know, your attitude. I don't know. But at Merchants and Planners Bank, you know, we're asking you, and this is something we don't do a lot because we typically, with our current customers, we thank you and we appreciate your business. It's not too often I sit here and ask people, hey, if you haven't done business with us yet, it's time to change and
Right.
try us. But today I'm asking anyone that has not banked with Merchants and Planners, if you're in the market for a new bank, then please give us a try. You know, we're locally owned and operated. This is our 70th year as a community bank, so you know we've got that longevity factor, and plus we've got people that you know in your community that you have as neighbors, or you know your kids go to school together. We're a local bank, and if you haven't tried us, I want you to try it and just see what a difference it makes doing business with a local organization.
Oh, I think it is a tremendous advantage to, you know, lots of things. Number one, like I say, you know everybody that works here. To walk into the door or to call and get some decisions made, you know, they don't have to be made right now, but in a timely fashion, because it's local people making local decisions, and we've used that line before, and I mean, it's exactly what it is.
Right. In other organizations, you may have to wait some because, you know, it's got to go up the chain, and it's going somewhere out of your town, possibly even out of your state.
Sure.
It's going to someone that makes the decision based on the paperwork that's in front of them. And yes, that's important, but there is a human factor that comes into play, and you know that's where doing business locally is gonna benefit you, and you're gonna see the difference when you do that.
Most people get locked in to a bank. Most people get locked in, you know, from years ago, and they say, okay, this is my bank, it's going to be my bank, blah, 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 and they're taken care of. But once you have some changes and you have to start looking for other banks to do business with, we encourage you, as Tara said, to at least sit down and visit with us and give us the opportunity to talk about what we can offer for you. We have a process on how to do that and how to get set up with Merchants and Planners Bank.
Well, we understand that people are busy, and it's sometimes not just a matter of, oh, you know, I don't want to deal with it. It's I don't have time for it.
Sure.
But we have a very easy switch kit that you can find online, or that you can go into any of your branches and talk to the people there about. It's a matter of 10 minutes to fill out some paperwork, bring in your photo ID, and really our people take it from there. They make sure, you know, if you're getting a direct deposit, that it's transferred and done properly, and you're given the right amount of time for everything. You know, if you're on bill pay, we can set you up with ours, and that's a seamless transition.
Sure.
Just any of that kind of automated stuff that you think, oh, I don't want to deal with that because it's such a pain and it's going to take time and it's too confusing, and what if something gets dropped? That should not be a concern. Like I said, our people they do it every day. You know,
Sure.
we set up people every day, and they promise to go above and beyond and make it easy and seamless for you to change.
I set up a bill pay the other day, and a bill pay is just something where the bank automatically will send the money. And the same way I thought, I don't want to do this. It's going to take a lot of time. I called Tristan, and Tristan had it done in about a minute and explained to me what I had to do. And he walked me through the process on my computer. I'm 60 years old, almost 60 years old. I'm going, I don't do a computer real well. He said, David, I'm telling you, even you could do this. And he walked me right through it in 2 minutes. I had it set up.
Well, and Tristan's great, and like I said, we have people all throughout the bank that, if you're unsure on how to do something, we have computer terminals set up that is specifically for having a customer come in and sit down and training them on, whether it is setting up a bill pay or how to use your online banking, how to view your e-statements, anything of that nature. We can sit down with you and walk you through it, so you know how to do it and you're comfortable with it.
I've asked all of those questions. I have called and asked all of those questions, and for some reason that you have a question, you can call and you can get an answer. You can get an answer.
Right, because we have local people here
we want your business. We want your business. We want an opportunity to earn your business.
Absolutely.
We hope people will consider us. Change is coming, and those changes are, if you're interested in changing banks, we just want to sit down with you and show you what we can do.
Sure. I invite you to come in or call, whatever's most convenient for you, and just talk to us and ask us why you should change to Merchants and Planners Bank. And let us tell you why, and let us make it easy for you.
It is my hometown bank. It is your hometown bank. It is our hometown bank. Why not let it be your hometown bank? She's Tara Salinas at Merchants and Planners Bank.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the March edition of the Jackson County Agriculture Report, sponsored by Farmer Supply Association. I'm Randy Kopechka, agronomist with Farmer Supply Association. Well, we're here in early March. We're actually filming on March 3rd. March is normally the beginning of the spring planting season, but this year we actually got a jump in February. There was a small amount of corn planted in the Newport area on February 29th, so I thought that was real interesting. We've had some little bit warmer weather, so it's probably a good chance that will be successful. But first time I've actually seen any corn planted in February in this area. I've heard about it planted back in the days before I was actually here, but planting season actually got started in February this year, and that's the first, obviously, since I've lived in this county. Again, March is the time we start planting most of our crops. I want to talk a little bit today about planting dates and also soil temperatures that are recommended. Again, you can get outside of these dates and be successful, but kind of want to talk about some of the things we look for when we start to plant these different crops. First one I want to talk about is corn. As I said, there's been a little bit of corn planted. As we tape on March 3rd, a couple of farmers have planted some corn already. With corn, the soil temperature we look for, really for uniform emergence, is at least 55 degrees at that 2-inch depth. We like to see that temperature by 9 o'clock in the morning for 3 consecutive days, and we feel like if we can get that at 55 degrees at 2 inches for 3 consecutive days and in a good forecast, and you ought to be able to get some good emergence and get that crop off to a good start. So that's kind of what we look for in March. Typically for corn, again, mid-March is the actual planting date that we kind of look at if you look at the calendar. But a lot of planting date studies have been conducted over the last several years, and we've seen that all the way up through mid-May, those yields hold up really well for corn with the varieties and hybrids we've got nowadays. We've got BT hybrids, so the corn borer is not a big issue. So, we can really extend that planting season and not affect yield much at all. So we don't have to worry so much about planting early, I don't think, like we used to. So again, we'll start thinking about that, start the process mainly in March, but it can go all the way through May. Rice, the temperature we look at for rice for the soil is about 60 degrees. They recommend looking at that at a 4-inch depth. I don't know the difference why you would 2 inches for one crop and 4 inches for another, but the literature says look at the 4-inch depth and get a 60-degree temperature on average. Get that for a few days in a good forecast, and you should be able to get pretty good uniform emergence of your rice crop if you wait till then. Calendar-wise, again, in a normal year, I like kind of seeing rice getting started planted about that last week of March and then really into April. Yields for rice, the potential yields for rice really start going down. It's almost just a downward trend starting in early April and going through the end of planting season. So I think in most years, starting in late March to early April, the quicker we can get that rice planted, the better our yield potential is going to be. So we want to get that done as quickly as we can. Again, once that temperature gets right, and especially if we're in that late March to early April time frame. Soybeans, You know, typically we've always planted soybeans as the last crop, but soybeans can do very well. As a matter of fact, their yield potential is typically quite a bit better if you go ahead and start planting in April. Looking at soil temperature, believe it or not, for soybeans, they say that about 50 degrees soil temperature, it's at 2-inch depth. You know, if you get that average of 50 degrees or so, that you should get uniform emergence of that soybean crop. You know, emergence actually can start at about 37 degrees for soybeans, but if you get to 50 degrees or so, then you should be able to get some uniform emergence, you know, with good conditions and that kind of soil temperature. So looking at months, I think when April gets here, it seems like if that forecast is good, these early April plantings of these indeterminate mid to late 4 varieties can really present our best yield potential for our soybeans. So again, I think everyone needs to be pushing soybean planting up a little bit from what they used to do and try to avoid as much as possible these, you know, getting up into May and June and even sometimes July plantings, our yield potential isn't just as good. So, you know, let's start thinking about earlier plantings for soybeans. Grain sorghum, 65 degrees is the recommended soil temperature for grain sorghum, so you can see a little bit warmer than the other crops. You know, the old line is that grain sorghum is coming up looking for a reason to get sick and die, so we want to get those warm temperatures, and it'll come out of the ground running generally and do quite a bit better. So again, 65 degrees soil temperature on average and a good forecast for grain sorghum. You know, if you look behind me here, this field, a lot of our fields are ready to go. Our farmers had a very dry February where a lot of field work was able to be done. So a lot of these fields look like this. They've been land planed down, worked up land planed down, and farmers will not work these fields again. They'll come in here and spray a burn down herbicide. If you can look behind me, these weeds are starting to turn a little bit yellow, so a burn down herbicide has been applied here. And then they'll just come in and grain drill right into that firm soil. That's the best seed bed you'll ever have. It's better than having a loose, fluffy seed bed, a good firm seed bed. It's been worked a while ago and rained on. That seems like our best type of seed bed for our crops to come up with. So again, when you apply these burn down herbicides, you need to keep in mind there's a plant back interval. Some of these herbicides have soil activity, so we want to watch our plant back interval on herbicides like 2,4-D, Clarity, First Shot, Lead Off, also Sharpen, Verdict, and Valor. So keep in mind there's a plant back, and don't apply these herbicides too close to when you're going to plant, or you may have some injured crops. So again, off to a good start crop-wise this year, and hopefully this weather will keep up for us and we'll have a very good crop year in 2016. This has been Randy Kopechka with the Farmer Supply Association.
Mid-size sedans are the middle C of automobiles. Basic, boring, fundamental, stuck squarely in the middle. Now, if you're looking for more of this or this, well then, I suggest you buckle up and enjoy this defiant, mid-size masterpiece.
Honey, do you know where my beige socks are?
Check the walk-in closet.
Richard, are you looking for these? There are two types of people in the world. Those who are content to blend in. These people walk through life like beige socks, uninspired and bored. Then there are those who expect more. They're exciting. They have pizzazz. Eventually, the beige sock people get lost or devoured by the ones who stand out. Do you want to be devoured, Richard? No.
What is that?
It's the new Kia Optima. It's like the world's most exciting pair of socks, but it's a mid-size sedan. Please, try it on for size. Whoa. Bo was right. Punch it, Richard. Come on, punch it.
And we say good morning, Batesville. Batesville, Arkansas. Why in the world do we say good morning at Mark Martin Kia?
Last time we shot at 6 o'clock at night, it's dark.
And this time we're shooting at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is very light and vibrant, and a Monday afternoon and a beautiful day. Jeff Salasco.
Yes, good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm great.
How is everything at Mark Martin Kia? I know on this beautiful day, and we've got guys out getting their cars, all cleaned up from the weekend dust. How's things going?
It's fabulous. We've got the largest inventory we've ever had since we've been open.
It looks good.
We are ready for the spring selling season.
Yes, sir. It's a great time to buy an automobile.
Yeah.
Great
Plus,
time.
we've had a fantastic February, but we managed to get some extra cars in here.
How'd y'all do that?
We're pumped up. We're ready to go.
Hey, Jeff, we talk about a lot, Kia. We talk about so much on this program of all the great features and so on and so forth, but we want to talk a little price today. We want to talk about a little price on brand new vehicles.
Brand new.
That, Unreal. When you hear it, you just go, that can't be right.
Yeah. We have got, and we've already sold several of these, a brand new 2016 Rio sedan with an automatic transmission, air conditioning, AM, FM, satellite radio, CD player in it. $14,990.
Less than $15,000.
And you don't have to have property in Egypt or anything like that to qualify to get it. Everybody can get it for $14,990. With the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on it. It's got automatic transmission, like I said, 560 bumper to bumper, powertrain. Great deal, great car.
Well, anytime you can talk about $15,000 or less than $15,000 for a brand new automobile, you're talking a great bargain in itself. And then we add that it's Kia, and then we add that it's the warranty, and then we add
it's going to get 40 plus miles a gallon.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. $10 might fill it up.
Yeah. Well,
it's the price of fuel right now.
If you're looking for something economical, if you're looking for something that's sporty, if you're looking for something that's structurally sound, if you're looking for something that has great safety features on it, this one you need to look at.
Well, it's a great first-time buyer car.
Right.
We do have a first-time buyer program.
Right.
For people that have never bought a new car. They can come in here and Kia will waive a bunch of the steps for credit.
Right.
And you can come in here, as a couple have done this last month, and get this brand new car, $14,990, and have a nice, comfortable, low $200 car payment. Brand new car, no worries, full warranty, and great price.
$200 a month payment on a new car. That's just unheard of in today's market. It's just unheard of. $200.
It's a Kia.
But it's a good Kia. It's a great Kia.
Yeah.
Hey, there's no doubt in selection on this particular unit.
We've got it. I was telling the guys the other day, I said, I hate to say this because it sounds a little arrogant, but if we don't have it, you almost don't need it. Because we've nearly got every color, every package, just about every configuration you could think of. We've got 138 new cars on the ground.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, we have got a great selection, and all but 6 of them are 16 models.
Wow.
The 15s are you've just almost missed them if you want a 15.
They're about gone.
But we have got a great, and a big year. We're sitting here with this beautiful new 2016 Optima.
I want to talk about this
car.
I
My goodness.
want to talk about it.
I'm going to tell you this. We've been talking about fuel economy. This year, Kia's been talking about this for a while, but it's out. Our new Turbo LX.
Right.
It's a 1.6-liter turbo engine. The in-town rating on the mileage is an average of 29 in town.
Right.
The highway mileage average is 39. So there are people getting up to 44 and 45 miles per gallon in this. But we sold one to a customer in Mountain Home, filled it up before we left the dealership, delivered it up there, told my driver, when you get there, fill it up.
Fill it up again.
He called me back. He said, we held 2.2 gallons of gas. So he said he drove 93 miles on 2.2 gallons of gas.
Wow. Yeah, 40
Awesome car. Starting at $21,900.
Right.
On the LX models.
Right.
Now, that, of course, when everybody says starting at, on TV even, if you look, that does not include destination charges. It doesn't include things that might be added, like floor mats or extra things that might get put on, but $21,900 is the base MSRP, or starting MSRP on the 2016 Optima.
And then you can add options onto that makes the car look, a little bit more convenience for the brand, a little bit more pricey,
but we have got all the new technology features that you're hearing. You're hearing some of the manufacturers are touting this stuff on TV. Some of the stuff we've had for quite a while. But the forward collision warning system, got it. Advanced Smart Cruise, got it. Lane departure warning, got it. Blind spot detection, got it. Rear cross traffic, got it. UVO e-services, we're the only one that has it. So, you know, if you go to a big sporting event or go shopping, you can push the app on your phone and find your car. It'll walk you right back to where you were sitting at.
And I have been lost before in a parking lot, a big parking lot.
I've been lost before at Walmart.
Yes.
You know, I get so many different demos, sometimes I forget what I'm in.
That's right, that's right.
Even my wife will say, what color was our car today?
You got to be able to find your car, but with safety
what.
features or features that'll help us.
But this car, even though it doesn't look dramatically different, the nose, the rear end, have all been redone, but the cage on this car is 51% structurally sounder than the old version.
Okay.
Which that means you're going to get a smoother ride, and if you're in an accident, you've got a lot more protection. Even though we had a 5-star rating before, greater now.
It's unreal.
Yes.
Unreal. You know what I really like about that car right there, and I use the term, and I don't know if it's the right term or not. It's a rich-looking automobile. And then when you get on and you ride and drive and you go, it's got to be a $75,000 car or $60,000 car, but it's not. I mean,
Not here. Even loaded out, this car beside me, and it's got the Harman Kardon sound system in it, which is you'll find in Mercedes-Benz.
Right.
It's got the 7.1 surround system with the Clarify system, which takes your signal and clarifies any kind of static that could be in it, even if you're listening to FM.
Right.
Okay. Surround speakers, 10 speakers. It's got all the things I just talked about. Surround cameras. You can look all around the car. This is a special launch edition, SX model. Beautiful Merlot, which is a burgundy red leather in it.
Oh, leather's beautiful.
MSRP on this car, $33,500.
Yeah. Very inexpensive. Very inexpensive.
Yeah. Fantastic. This was their launch edition. We've been able to get 2 or 3 of these. I've got others coming in, but this has got the special, the Merlot leather, they're only doing on the launch models. It's got different wheels, and they actually took a group of what they thought would be the most selected safety features and put them on here, so you don't have to step up and get the high-end SXL version, which our top-end model is only $37,000 on this car. If you want everything in the kitchen sink, you can get the SXL. It's got the quilted leather and all the other fine appointments. Stickers at $37,000.
Right. Which is still inexpensive.
Way under what you go out there and look at everybody else.
Yeah. Well, when you compare the competition, when you really do, I mean, you compare luxury, safety features, items, gas mileage, warranty. We've got the best deal anywhere in the country. I mean,
we think so.
He has got a great deal.
We think so.
He has got a great deal. We're going to take a short break and be right back. We're going to talk more with Jeff Zalasko at Mark Martin Kia. How much?
You've rolled up to the 2016 Kia Optima control features video. So, let's jump right into some highlights that would put you in the driver's seat if you weren't already there.
With intuitive controls, it's easy to access all the Optima's features.
And hey, look, if it's easy for this guy, believe me, it's pretty easy.
Smart Welcome is an amazing feature. As you approach your car, door handle and interior lights will turn on, and the power folding mirrors unfold.
All by detecting the presence of your smart key.
It's like it's always happy to see me.
Hey, first time for everything.
Okay, this one's great for jamming out to your favorite tunes.
Let the record show that you just said jamming out to your favorite tunes.
And while you are jamming out, it will give you a multi-dimensional sound.
Yes, it uses Clarify technology to rebuild lost details and restore music back to its original, vibrant quality. Please stop whatever you're doing, just make it stop. Let's move on to UVO.
Okay, it's fine.
The entertainment
Bluetooth
system
technology is
conveniently
integrates
hands
your smartphone's core.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, this is an amazing and complex feature, so I want to try and do it justice, okay?
Okay.
So, you or me?
Me.
Great. But with voice recognition technology, it's conveniently hands-free. Check this out. Call AC.
Hang on, my phone's ringing. Hey, this is AC.
Hey, it's Miles. You're an idiot.
Whatever. It's also web-enabled, so you can wirelessly connect to an internet hotspot, and speed alerts let you know if you're driving a little too fast.
Yep. The geofence uses GPS to build a digital boundary, making sure your car stays exactly where you want it to.
I knew me could do it.
Me?
We, I said we.
You said me.
Well, that's the thing we want to talk about. We want to talk about safety features. We want to talk about gas mileage, and then we want to talk about how well we've done at Mark Martin Kia. And we continue to sell automobiles throughout Northeast, North Central, the Boot Hill of Missouri. we're getting traffic in here. We're advertising. We're doing a great radio advertising campaign, and but you know, we want our local folks here in the Batesville to know that we appreciate your business, and we want you to continue to come support us out here. And we've got a good business. Great customers.
We got a great product at a great price, and we think we're worth the drive over here. You know, the 4 lane's easy to get on and go south and go east a little bit and go shopping, do other things. But if you want a really good deal on a car, and if you want a buying experience like you won't find at very many dealerships,
sure,
and I'll say few, you need to come see us.
I've been in a lot of them. I've been in a lot of car dealerships, dealer transferred back in the year, and the ones that I worked at, and the friendly, no hassle, no pressure atmosphere that you get at Martin Kia here, honestly, it's the best I've ever seen. Product knowledge from the guys that are
they actually know what they're talking about.
They know what they're talking about, and everybody always wants to know the price. Come on, I need to get a price on that car out there. And I don't think you should ever give a price until you go show the features on that car, let them drive that car, because then the price becomes secondary to the value of the car.
Value of the car, yeah. And the other question they want is, how much is mine worth?
Absolutely.
Well, the good news is, and you've all seen the Mark Martin used car show.
Yes, sir.
Our used car manager, general manager, Mooney, he knows the market.
Better
and
than
he is going to
anybody.
give you as much, if not more, for your car than anybody else, because we've got places to go with them.
Absolutely.
We sell a volume of used cars at all our locations every month. It would scare people to know how many pre-owned vehicles we sell a month. Plus, we've got these pre-owned lots, so if your car's a little bit older but still good, we're going to give you more for it, because we got 2 car lots to take it to that we can make it bring it.
And you talk about Mooney and his expertise, and he often says he can't ever find Kelly. He can't call her.
Yeah,
on
we've
the
been
phone.
looking for her. She's unlisted.
She's unlisted. She has, you know, you go to Kelly's Blue Book and Kelly Blue Book, and you go try to call Kelly. Kelly's not there. And
She don't write checks for cars either.
She doesn't write checks, does she? So,
No.
and you have to be on top of the market. And he doesn't go by Kelly Blue Book or NADA Book, and we go by market and what your vehicle's worth.
Yeah.
And Ben and I have been old used car guys. And we'll think about a car, and Mooney will say, well, I'm going to tell you what, from now to the next 45 days, it's worth $1,500 more than what you thought. Now, after that, it's going to be off. But because, and here's why. But so we're going to give you more for your automobile. We're going to give you more for your trade-in than you get anywhere in the country.
Exactly. And you're going to get a fair price on your new car, a great price for your trade-in, and what our customers say is a really relaxed environment.
It is that. It is that. It is a beautiful facility that we have here. We're in Batesville, south side is such, but a beautiful, beautiful dealership that a lot of money invested here. But when you guys continue to pump out the automobiles that you do and sell the automobiles that you do, I know Kia's going to be happy with you.
We want everybody to be happy with us.
Everybody. Our customers
our
are
customers.
Our
Yeah.
customers are happy with us.
Yes.
If you're thinking about trading, buying, whatever the case may be, an automobile, we ask you to give us a chance. Just before you sign a paper on a car, come see us and see what we can do. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Jess Alasko, good to see you, my friend.
Happy March.
Happy March.
It's our 6th year.
It's the 6th year
March
of counting.
29th will be 6 years.
Happy anniversary, sir.
Thank you.
Jess Alasko, Mark Kia, south of everything in Batesville.